Lights aren't working. There you go.
Does $184 for a Ghostbusters flight suit sound crazy to you?
Okay, you're
Why would it be that
asking.
expensive?
Wait.
I didn't ask
Wait,
you, Kevin.
Kevin.
I asked the person who has spent thousands of dollars on costumes for her entrances for the Schmodown movie trivia. Does that sound crazy?
Okay, you were asking the correct person because that sounds like just a little drop in the bucket.
It's like normal, right?
A little drop in the bucket.
Because I told Greg that. I was like, I feel like this flight suit is the proper color. And he was like, no, it's going to be too dark. But I'm like, it's just too expensive for me to buy and then maybe send back. Because what happens if something gets fucked up, if I tear it or whatever? I don't know.
Oh,
This is not on Amazon, that's the
return
problem.
frequently. So
Yeah, I know, but this is from properrighttothecore.com.
Okay, well, what you need to do is you need to read their policy on returns.
Yeah. It's free shipping, which is great. And it's a dope flight suit. And it would actually make me look cooler than
What
Greg.
does that say? Customer first service?
What does that mean? What is it? Where'd you see
Can you
that?
add the link onto the doc so that I can look at it? Show the kids?
Sure.
What makes this flight suit so much more expensive than the other one?
I don't know.
What were the other ones?
Well, Greg's flight suits were, I'll put it in housekeeping
We've
here.
had quite a few fashion shows for flight suits in the last couple.
No, he's right. We
Last
have
couple
had
weeks.
some fashion
We had
shows.
one yesterday.
Oh, really?
See that? So,
Yeah, Greg wore his blue one in yesterday,
Yeah.
which was just not the right color. Still not the right color. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny Morning Show. I am joined today by my dear friend and special guest, Brianne Chandler, Miss Movies. You know her on
Hello.
Twitter and that.
Hello.
So we're looking for the authentic
Jazz hands.
Ghostbusters 2 flight suit. Now, it's obviously not that one. That one's more
No.
Ghostbuster 1.
That's
That's the color
closer.
that I think we're looking for.
that's a good color.
That's a great color, and if it photographs like
Understand
that,
why
it's
so
perfect.
expensive.
Because it's thick. That's the other problem, is you don't really want it to be that thick.
It concerns me that it doesn't tell you what the name of the color is, though. That's a concern.
Well, I mean, obviously,
says
it's
black. That's a
See,
problem.
this is the problem. It's going to be black. Greg said it. He knocked it out of the park. He was like, "That's going to come. It's going to be black."
You need a gunmetal.
We need gunmetal gray. Ooh, that's a good call.
You need
I feel like
a
we're just not searching
charcoal
for the right
blue
thing.
Is what you need.
Charcoal?
Gunmetal gray.
See, I think it's gunmetal gray.
Did you say charcoal? That's.
No, I said charcoal blue.
Oh, I thought you said it on purpose, like because blue and cool are associated.
Charcoal.
I don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Kind of Funny Morning Show. We do this Monday through Friday, 11 a.m., twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. Then we throw this bad boy up on podcast services and on YouTube. Thank you to all who were commenting yesterday and telling me that my opinions on Better Call Saul were completely wrong. I appreciate that. I guess I'll have to watch the second season because watching the entirety of the first season wasn't enough to glean a proper opinion on a show. See, this is the problem is when you don't like something that the internet likes, you haven't watched because you haven't watched enough of it. That's what it is. See, you just don't like this thing because you haven't seen all of it yet. You have to see all 5 seasons of Better Call Saul to really appreciate how slow the show really is.
How slow it really is, but how did you feel about Breaking Bad itself? Because the first season of Breaking Bad was pretty slow.
I'll be honest, I skipped the first season of Breaking Bad.
Okay, well that
I came in on Breaking Bad. I came in at Breaking Bad like the last couple episodes of the first season, and I was like, they just melted a dude through a bathtub.
Yeah, that's fucking cool.
This show's awesome. Then I get to Better Call Saul, and it's him working in the back of a nail salon for 74 episodes straight, and then he's got a bad dysfunctional relationship with his brother who just makes me want to watch Clue.
Oh, I love Clue. I love Michael McKean.
Michael
everything
McKean's in the
about
movie, and I was
him.
like, why am I not just watching Clue? That's the question.
Let's watch Clue on loop all day.
Yeah,
Can
I'm
we
totally
turn it
down
on
for
right
that.
now?
I'm totally down for
I'll
that.
look into it.
Of course, ladies and gentlemen, this is Kind of Funny Morning Show. We bring it to you. Today's morning show is brought to you by Loot Gaming and Slack. But we'll get to that a little bit later when we give away a couple games after all the news. I'm very excited today because Brianne is preparing for another showdown. Who are you going up against?
It's called a schmodown. But I guess it is a showdown
It's a showdown.
of schmoes.
I was going to get there. Get there.
Okay.
Who are you going up against? Are we allowed to talk about this at all?
Okay, so I'm going to be in a Christmas or holiday movie match
Okay.
against I believe Mark Ellis.
Oh, you're going against Mark Ellis?
As well as Stacey Howard.
Okay.
There may be another person in that. I'm not sure.
So-
or there may be a different swap in for Mark. Don't know, but it's going to be on Patreon in December.
So, in order to prepare her for that, of course, the end of the news feeds today, we are going to do the ultimate Christmas movie quiz. Just to prepare you for it.
Yes.
We're going to see how many you can get. This is 40 questions.
I'm very concerned.
Got a lot of elf questions in there.
40 questions.
so.
There might be some elf questions, or there might be
It's all
there
Die
might
Hard.
be some Home Alone questions.
Okay, I'm prepared.
Now, Josh McCouga was up for Jasperty.
He was
during
up for
Extra
Josh
Life.
Free. I
He says
watched
hello.
some of that.
Thank you for your support of that.
Yes.
McCouga had a whole category called Kevin with exclamation mark, and not one of the questions was from
about
Home Alone.
Kevin? Oh.
No, they were all Home Alone 2 questions, which is just brutal. And I think that was the category we failed at most.
Home Alone 2 is definitely not as great as the original. What? Why?
That's an opinion,
why?
dude.
It's
okay,
terrible.
but why?
What?
Why
I
would you
enjoyed
choose
it.
that?
Going to New
Because
York.
Home Alone,
Why would you go
because
with the
in
second one?
Josh's words, everyone's seen Home Alone 1.
Okay.
Everyone knows Home Alone.
Okay.
Everyone know you've seen it so many times it's going to be too easy. He wanted to throw us for a curveball. I got more questions right under the famous Gregs from history than I did from the Kevin category.
Okay.
I got Greg Popovich. I guessed correctly the team that Greg Popovich coached,
Which was?
the Spurs.
Okay.
I had no idea. It was a wild guess. I got that easier than I got any of the Kevin questions. Josh McCouga is a monster. Must be stopped, but we love him. He needs to come back up. He needs to come back up here.
Always. He always needs to be here.
Quick housekeeping. Obviously, this Saturday we got EXO 18, 12:45, twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames right here. The guys are going to be watching the conference and then live reacting to it right afterward. Joey will be here as well in spirit.
Thank you.
She'll probably be, I'm guessing you'll have a cup of tea and maybe a biscuit, and you'll be watching this from
Joey, are you
the comfort of
British?
your own home.
I'm not.
No, but we're British now because we've watched the Great British Baking Show.
This is true.
I
I
feel
like
like we can be
to
British.
incorporate as many British traditions into my home life. So yes, tea
Makes
and
sense.
biscuits.
That makes total sense. All right, guys. Quick tip reminder: if you want to tip us, if you want to say something to Brianne or give her a compliment or tell her that she missed some of the
Too
easier
many-
of the quiz
some of the easier
questions,
questions.
you guys can tip us at the $5 above level, and we will read those tips.
What if they put a question for the quiz?
That's even
in
better.
The tip.
I'll tell you
That
this.
would be amazing.
Cue up your Christmas questions. Christmas
not
movie
all Die
questions.
Hard. Not all Die Hard.
Not all
okay?
Die Hard.
Okay.
But you can slide in some Lethal Weapon questions there if you want,
have
because that is
a book.
What is this?
This is have yourself a movie Little Christmas.
You take this so seriously, and that's what I love about you.
Well, the guy that wrote it, Alonzo Duralde, he's the one that's calling the match.
Oh,
so
I see.
figure if I know what he knows, then I'll know he
You're
knows
gonna get
he
in his brain.
knows.
Now, you think that the guy who's calling the match is going to ask questions from a book that he
Yes.
wrote about Christmas movies?
Why wouldn't he?
100%.
I feel like that's way too obvious. If I were to do that, I would ask not one single solitary question.
He
from
does not
those.
have Enemy of the State in here
As a Christmas movie?
as a Christmas movie. So
Well,
already,
Alonzo, nobody's perfect.
no Bad Moms Christmas, but that just came out, so I'm okay. I will allow that because it just came out.
Is
How
Harry
was-
Potter in there?
Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Yes.
Oh, nice.
Because I think every Harry Potter movie broaches Christmas at a certain point, though, right? Like the first
yeah, the
one, he's
first
there
one
for
he's
Christmas.
there. He
Second
gets
one,
the
I don't think
sweater.
I don't know if they do anything for Christmas.
They go to whatever the city.
Hodge meets?
Yeah, and then that's where the little girl gets possessed and like carried up, thrown about.
This got to be tougher.
Yeah.
All right. No tips just yet, but that's not a problem, ladies and gentlemen, because I feel like after you hear this quiz, man, you're gonna want to ask some questions. Let's.
I'm really nervous.
Don't get nervous.
Okay.
We got a couple news
I'm not
stories we're gonna talk
nervous.
about beforehand, and then we're gonna go into the ultimate Christmas quiz, which is ultimate Christmas movie quiz, is what I'm calling it. Let's go into the news. First up on news today, Breaking Bad movie. Did you hear about this?
I just learned about it yesterday.
That story dropped yesterday, and this is how daft I am. The story dropped, and the tagline was, "It's about a kidnapped man, and we follow a kidnapped man on his journey toward freedom." And I was like, "Who could it possibly be?" And the whole internet, after I said that, was like, "It's clearly going to be Jesse Pinkman,
Yes.
you idiot." And I'm like, "Oh, right." So this is exclusive over on /film.com. Exclusive, the Breaking Bad movie will be a sequel following Jesse after the series finale, Aaron Paul to return. Not many more details than that, but Andy Cortez just took off all of his clothes and started running down the street in glee because he loves Breaking Bad so much.
I watched Breaking Bad for the first time last year, the entire show.
Really?
And my husband, when he was first watching it, he was watching it as it was happening, and he was like, you're not gonna like this show. And I was like, why? He's like, there's no redeemable characters.
No.
There's not a single good person, and you have to have that good person. That's like your thing. You liked having the hero of the story. There's no hero of the story.
To a degree, that's why I think the show was so good, was because Walter White started doing bad things for the right reasons. But then slowly, I think it was like around season 4.
When he becomes the kingpin?
He just finally, like you've reached the conclusion before he has, which is that you actually just like doing this. Like you're good at this and you're a bad guy. And he finally reaches that conclusion where he's like, oh shit, I'm not doing this I'm not doing this to survive anymore, and I'm not doing this to take care of my family anymore. I'm just doing this because I'm the best in the world at it. And I think the famous line where he's like, I'm the guy who knocks, where he talks to his Skylar and he's like, I'm actually, like, people should be scared to be like, I want that kind of juice. And you're like, damn, dude, you're on a path that you can't come back from anymore. It was such a great show.
My problem with the show is that he's not good at those things, though. Once he gets control of everything, he fails miserably.
Well, I mean, that's the overarching theme of the show, is that when you do that much bad things are going to happen. Like, you're just courting chaos.
I think he was just bad at doing things because he also lost that other company that that became...
Well, he was great at making the meth.
The car wash?
No.
We kept the car wash.
The chemistry company.
Ah.
Oh, right. The guy that went on to make like billions of dollars at the chemistry company, his partner. That was the great end, though.
Are you excited? Are you interested in watching this movie?
No.
Like, where is it going to be released? Is it going to be a wide release?
It's TV. No, it's AMC TV movie. It's going to be like probably 2 hours.
It'll be on Netflix and like
I
2 months later.
I imagine that it's going to be either a 2-hour movie that they put on AMC or they spread it out over like 2 periods, like 2 parts.
Then I'd be interested. Why not?
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, Aaron Paul.
Everyone's going back to the well.
My question is, when are we getting Need for Speed 2? That's the big question.
Is that the big question?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Aaron Paul was like, I'm gonna do Breaking Bad, and then I'm gonna go right into Need for Speed. And that's gonna be my new Fast and Furious franchise, and it just didn't work out. It did not work out, sadly. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know how all my opinions on Better Call Saul are wrong. Just go ahead and say. I'm not even gonna tell you for those of you who just watching this didn't watch yesterday, I'm not even gonna tell you what I think about Better Call Saul. Just let me know that I'm wrong. There you go. Appreciate that. Joe, what's going on with the sweater you're wearing? I love it.
Scarpino!
I don't know what this is.
What's happening?
You wanna party?
I do want to party. I this is like a beef jerky or
Here's
something
what
like that.
happened, doggy dog,
Yeah.
all right? You might remember me from a little show called The Kind of Funny Morning Show.
Are you wearing my glasses?
When the cape is on, I am Red Bull Man.
You are Red Bull Man.
What I want you to know is that our ship has come in, sir.
Wow.
And Red Bull sent us all this Red Bull.
That's great.
Because they put Pac-Man on it.
Pac-Man.
Oh, that's cool.
I asked for sugar-free.
That
They
is
said they
amazing.
didn't have that. I
That's
was looking
fine.
out for you. I did what I
I
could.
appreciate that. Well, I can't drink these, but they look cool.
I can't!
Why don't you give one to Kevin? There you go.
Not wonderful. I'll put them right here so you remember what Red Bull Man does for you.
Red Bull Man,
I love
okay.
What Red Bull
Pac-Man.
Man made happen for you.
I appreciate that. Red Bull Man got me the
Sugar-free.
wrong Red Bulls.
Red Bull Man tried his Why'd you headbutt Red Bull Man?
I didn't know that hat went so far out. I lost my perspective on it.
Red Bull Man on the sugar-free one. Can it be Mrs. Pac-Man?
You can ask Red,
Red
Bull
Bull Man
that.
doesn't have that kind of pulse. All right?
Yeah, Red Bull Man's
Okay.
really just a senseless shill. He's just a microphone for all of the Red Bull
You
company.
can get your Red Bull Pac-Man in stores now, probably. The dates
Are we
very
just-
clear.
yeah, okay.
The dates were really clear.
Maybe it's on this label. No, it just says made in Switzerland.
Yeah.
Why are they making Red Bull in Switzerland?
They
ask
probably
questions?
made the design there.
That's weird. That
looks
seems
really
like Switzerland
cool,
would
but
be
I
really
don't know.
expensive. That's probably why they cost like $8 a Red Bull when you go to bars. Because they're like, these are handmade in Switzerland. How dare you?
You're welcome.
Thanks, Red Bull Man.
No problem.
Thanks, Red Bull Man.
All right.
Yeah, why is it in Switzerland?
My lady. Next, well, there's not much more news, but I did want to take a brief, let's take a break real quick and just talk about the
Okay.
things we've been watching lately.
We've been watching.
What have you been up to lately? What have you been watching on the streaming services?
On the streaming services, I finally watched The Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, it's good.
And that's what made me decide to dye my hair red.
Okay.
Because I looked like every character in The Haunting of Hill House.
So
every
you
single one
looked
of
like
them.
every character in The Haunting on Hill
Yes.
House, but
And then I was like,
You're
I
like, I
gotta
don't wanna
make
do
a
this anymore.
change.
Okay. But they're a
Something's gotta
family, right?
change.
So they're supposed to look alike?
Yes, they are supposed to look alike. But
Okay.
I mean, there are times when I'm like, who is that? What character am I following? Not really, Kevin.
Okay.
It's a joke. And so
Kevin, you have to understand. Kevin takes everything to the extreme literal.
I mean, the one has the gloves, so you're good with that.
Mm-hmm.
Did you watch it?
She's also super pretty, the one with the gloves.
You know, the guy who did The Haunting on Hill House, Mike Flanagan, he also did the movie Hush.
He's
Joey, and I know you like that
I
because
did
you're the one
like
who
it.
told me about Hush.
It's very unsettling.
It is unsettling, and
don't like it.
she stars in that too.
Which one's
Girl
Hush?
with the gloves.
What is that
married to
about?
him.
Hush is it's a deaf woman who's being
Thriller,
stalked by a person that wants to get inside her house, probably to kill her.
Oh, that sounds terrifying.
Yes.
You know that reminds me of Jennifer 8. Remember that movie?
I
With Uma
remember
Thurman,
it.
where and Andy Garcia, she plays a blind girl.
Yes.
And there's a serial killer hunting blind girls, and she's next.
As they do.
And it's terrifying because there's a scene where she's in the bath, and he's got one of those cameras, but you can't hear it. She doesn't know. She thinks someone's there, but he's being really quiet. Terrifying. That, and I just queued up the movie Copycat.
Oh, Copycat is terrifying.
And,
terrifying.
we're gonna
Harry
watch-
Connick Jr.
Dude, yeah, don't spoil
Sigourney
it for
Weaver,
people.
Holly Hunter.
Holly Hunter and I want to say Dylan McDermott play FBI agents.
Dylan,
Dermot
no.
Mulroney.
Oh, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right. Yes. Okay. That's 90s. 95?
I
Yeah.
love Dermot Mulroney.
Is that what night?
So much.
it's earlier than that. Hold on, Copycat. There we go.
There it is.
1995. Damn.
Yeah,
Damn.
guys.
This movie is features Sigourney Weaver, Holly Hunter, Dermot Mulroney, whose name I could never get right.
I love him.
I always think it's Dylan McDermott.
He's the
it's
other
Dermot
one.
Mulroney. Dermot Mulroney, the better of the Dermots.
I would agree.
Better
by
of the
far.
Dermots.
He was
Most
in
dreamy.
My Best
My Best Friend's
Friend's
Wedding.
He
was
was
in Wedding
He's in
Date.
20 things.
Did you know that he is
Wedding Date. Yep.
Underrated rom-com.
Which one was the wedding? Oh, the Wedding Date was the one
Deborah
with.
Messing.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I was thinking of. That was actually a good movie. He
was
plays the
super
escort,
good. Yeah.
who's just like a nice guy. He just makes time. He's just
Yeah.
super sexy.
Incredibly sexy. Holy cow.
Not like out of this world. Like
Yeah.
if I could. Here's a weird fact about him that I think we talked about on the morning show a while back. Did you know that he actually is a professional cellist?
I did
No.
not know that.
He randomly plays cello in
In the subway
orchestras.
stations?
No, he
Oh.
He does movie themes. There's like,
Aw.
yeah, I think
I'm
it's
looking
him.
more
Is
we
he on
can verify
soundtrack
this.
for anything? Let's look him up.
We're gonna look him up. We're gonna look him up right
But
now. Like he
Copycat
is that
was
actual like he
terrifying.
is actually like a real musician. So let me let's see.
But Harry Connick Jr. is not any sort of spoiler,
In the music
by
department.
The way. You see him at the very beginning.
So he did.
the very
He
first.
has a cello solo on Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
Whoa.
He played cello in Star Trek Into Darkness soundtrack. He was apparently a musician on Mission Impossible's Ghost Protocol, Mission Impossible 3, and God's Lonely Man. So apparently he's a gigging musician in LA. He'll just get called up. He just loves it.
What else for soundtrack credits? He has 8 credits there. What is he singing something?
He is a performer on The Rambler. 2013 is The Rambler. Jolene, I don't know. Yeah, maybe he sang
guess
a
he
little bit
sang
here and there, but
And
I just felt like I saw
wedding.
that story pop up and I was like, they interviewed him and they're like, why do you do this? You're like a really like you're making a lot of good money as an actor. He's like, I love playing cello. Like I'm a great musician.
I have hobbies too, guys.
No, it's not
This
even a
is my
hobby. It's just
job.
like
My job is
I like
acting.
doing it. It's really cool. But it's so cool when you encounter that because you're like, that is pretty cool that you just go. He's
cool.
like, yeah, just go in for a couple days and plays professionally for soundtracks for like Michael Giacchino and like Hans Zimmer will call him up. He's like, yeah, I guess I'll come by.
He just
Can you
thought it'd
imagine
be
if you're-
cooler.
Can you imagine if you're a musician, you sit down, you look over like, are you Dermot Mulroney? And he's like, I'm Dylan McDermott. And you're like, oh, I can't, damn it. Damn it.
no.
Which one is it? Which one
All
are
the
you?
Dylans.
All the freaking Dylans.
All the Dermots. All the Mulronys.
Falcor Yay in the chat says Dylan McDermott Mulroney is just the best way to say that guy's name. That's perfect. That's perfect right there. So Hill House, definitely worth watching. Greg's been talking about it.
I liked it, but the more I think about it, the less I like it. You know what I'm saying? Like I liked it at the time, and then it just like once I think about things too concretely, then I'm like, I need to stop thinking about it. If I stopped thinking about it, I'd be like, yeah, this is a good show. Good show.
Have you watched The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina yet?
I watched the first episode, and I'm sorry, everyone. I love Salem from the original too much that I just can't digest the rest of the show. I'm like, I need a cat that talks.
That's a big
Just
problem
the
for
cousin,
people.
though.
I like the cousin.
I just love
The
it.
cousin's totally replaced Salem.
That's Ambrose, right?
Yeah.
Is it
Cousin
a cat
Ambrose.
that talks?
And
The cat-
Ambrose was in the comic too.
The familiars are a little weird in this series because they don't really like. You think, oh, they're gonna play a very big part, and they don't really. Like it saves her every once in a while, but that's pretty. It's kind of a weird side character that really should have been fleshed out a little bit more because they make such a big deal about it. In, like the second episode, you got to pick your familiar, and then she's like. What I like about the Sabrina character, obviously, is that she's like a champion of like rights across the board, like equal rights for everyone. And I get that.
Gotta bring her up to this time.
I like that. I think it's cool. But you got to do something more with that. I got to the end of the series and I was like, it was good. I'll watch. I'll probably give season 2 a shot. But I like it's because I like the cast so much. Miranda Otto's freaking awesome, and she plays the Aunt Zelda.
Yeah.
Or Aunt Hilda. I think it's Aunt Zelda. And then I like the actor that plays Sabrina. I think she's great.
Did you ever watch that show Feud?
No.
Joan and Bet. That one's a really good one.
Which one's Feud?
Feud. It was on. Oh God, I want to say FX, but maybe it's not FX. But it's about Joan Crawford.
Yeah, it was
Bette
Susan
Davis.
Sarandon, right?
Yes, or Betty Davis. If
Was
you
it
wanna say it that
good?
way. It's amazing. I watched it on a plane going to Hawaii, and like they only had 4 episodes available for some reason, and then I was like, "Thanks, plane."
How do the plane rights do that? Like I went to the TV the other day, and it's like we have 5 episodes from like season 3 of Brooklyn Nine-Nine ready for you, and I'm like, why these episodes?
But with
why
this-
not start me from the beginning?
With this, I didn't know, like, oh, maybe it is only 4 episodes. Maybe it's like a little mini-series.
Maybe.
No, there were like 12 episodes maybe total of this. And I was like, oh, this was just like, this is the appetizer. Now I gotta buy the rest of the show, which I did do.
This is Jessica Lange and Susan Sarandon played
It's
those 2
incredible.
characters.
If
It
you
looks
love
awesome.
old Hollywood, the making of Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, it's all about that. That movie, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, is terrifying, by the way.
But it's
you gotta
really
see that.
good.
And you should see that movie before you watch this show. But if you love old Hollywood, that's
It's one of
what
my
you should
favorites.
watch.
You know what I started watching last night?
So good.
A documentary called They'll Love Me When I'm Dead,
Oh.
which is about Orson Welles. Specifically, it's about The Other Side of the Wind, his making that movie, and how long it took. And obviously, like, it's in the news now because the movie's actually coming out on
Right.
Netflix. Like, they're actually going to they release a brand new Orson Welles movie 42 years after it wrapped shooting, which
That's
is
crazy.
crazy. But the documentary is a little bit weird because I don't love documentaries that stray too far from the documentary format.
Okay.
I.e., like, or Ergo, whichever one's supposed to be. I'm like, just tell me the events, because the events of him trying to make this movie over the span of years, and like he would stop, and then he would go do a movie. Like they have one part where they're talking about how
his boyhood.
they would do this was supposed to be his comeback movie, right? They were supposed to kind of bring him back as like a premium director, and like it was supposed to be a hit. But it was also a movie about a movie. So it was about a director who had failed, who needed a hit, and so it was kind of autobiographical, and then it featured some surreal aspects of life, but it was kind of cinema verite, where it was like, a little bit of it was like, they're just kind of following this director around. It was a lot of improv, which for Orson Welles was like, it was unheard of, because every shot was like meticulously put together in all the rest of his movies, but this was sort of his swan song. And he was like, it's so cool to watch this documentary, because they talk about how he wanted to get this movie made, but no one would fund it because he just hadn't had a hit in a really long time. Like he had Citizen Kane, which kind of tanked, and then nothing.
Yeah, and then they're like,
he had other movies.
Hearst is like,
Well, they talked about
You're out now.
Touch of Evil, which he got kind of kicked off of because the studio was like, we don't like this, and they never told him why. And so this movie's so crazy where they hired the main actor, and it was his first day on set. He's like, I'm super excited to be shooting with you guys. And they're like, yeah, we're great. We're happy to have you on, man. This movie's been so great to be working on for the last 3 years. And he was like, you've been acting in this movie for 3 years? Like, what the fuck did I just get myself into? And they talk about a part where they had a shot where someone gets punched, and they filmed the reverse shot a year later in a different set with different actors or something like that. Because he was like, because Orson Welles had to go work on another movie, and he was like, just come here.
Movie.
It's similar to that. But I guess the movie's coming out, so while I don't particularly... I would recommend You'll Love Me When I'm Dead, but as a documentary, it's very weirdly done. It's very weirdly put together, because the story itself is so cool, but the way they put it together is a little jumbled.
Plus, the story's not finished, because now we're bringing the movie out.
Now we're actually releasing the movie, which is cool. But I guess the people that made this documentary, I think Frank Marshall made the documentary as well, and he actually worked on and is one of the people responsible for now bringing back on the other side of the wind into the public. So he worked on it when he was very, very young as a producer, and he was like when I got the job, it was like dream job. I mean, to put it in context. Now that would be like, I mean, the only analog that I can think of is if you were a young producer and you just randomly ran into Steven Spielberg and he was like, yeah, come work with me. But if Steven Spielberg hadn't had a hit since Jurassic Park and like went a little crazy. That's kind of how this is.
I kind of want that story.
Like, it's a really cool story, but like they're talking about how the sound guy quit, or they fired the sound guy after day one because he kept complaining that they were driving the car too fast and he was going to fall out. Like, this is the kind of movie that they were working on here. So it's really cool. It's on Netflix right now. You guys can check that out. You said you watched Susperia.
I watched Susperia. Oh dear. Okay,
that's Dakota Johnson, right? It's the remake of
Dario Argento's Suspiria. Yes, and so there's an expression when you go to buy a house. It's like, oh, this is a very specific buyer that you're looking for. When you go into a house and it's very ornate or something, and you're like, whoa, this is a specific buyer. Mm-hmm. This is a very specific like movie goer. Like, don't just be like, oh, that kind of looks a little interesting. Like, this is a movie that's going to be talked about for years, and I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, but I was entertained, and I was grossed out, and I was terrified. I had so many emotions watching the film that I'm like, oh God.
Like when you see the preview for it, it looks like an entire movie made out of the last act of Black Swan.
Yes.
Where you're like, there's just going to be a lot of crazy shit going on for 2.5 hours straight.
A lot more gore than I thought would actually be happening.
I'm interested to watch it just from a sheer morbid curiosity's sake, but that movie is not one that speaks to me per se. I saw the trailer, I was like, I love the art house style. I love art house, but the kind of...
Tilda Swinton is
incredible. It looks cool, it looks beautiful, it looks like a movie from the 70s, like it looks like they're paying homage to the original, but the original never really spoke to me either.
I didn't see the original, so I can't compare it. So I probably would check that out.
Would you go back and watch it?
Because I would want to know like what's the difference. Right? Yeah, and I love dance, so...
Yeah.
I'm a dancer. I
You're
love
a dancer
dance.
back in the day.
That's right, back in the day.
Back in the USC cheer squad.
That's right. This weekend, USC Homecoming is the 50th anniversary of the USC Song Girls. So we're doing a routine. I ordered a whole new uniform for this.
Of course you did.
We're doing a routine.
No, it's not commitment. It's called addiction, Joey. It's addiction when she goes, wait a minute, it's Saturday? I need a uniform for this. At one point, Brianne called me and she was like, do you think this is too much to spend on this costume? And I'm like, yeah, I think it is. I think it is.
No, what you said.
You added up how much you'd spent on costumes one time and told me the total. And I was like, she was like, should I tell my husband this? I'm like, no. Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that.
What you did say to me was, how much do you think he spends buying a part for his car?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, no, he probably spent he probably spends more on the sway bar for his car than you spent on the entire thing, because car parts are very expensive, especially when you start getting into really high performance stuff. From what I understand. I have a Honda, so I don't ever upgrade it. Why would I? Let's see, what else are we talking
Suspiria,
about?
Guys.
Suspiria. Oh, and then you dropped this knowledge bomb on me. You said you'd never seen About a Boy.
I have never seen About a Boy, so I saw it for the first time yesterday.
How good is that movie?
It wasn't, okay, first of all, I thought it was going to be a comedy.
You thought it was going to be like love.
It's not a straight comedy.
You see it and you go, oh, it's Hugh Grant, it's British, it's going to be Love Actually. Why not?
It's so intense.
Why not?
It's really good. It's a really good movie.
It's a really good movie, but I was like, wow, I wasn't prepared for certain events that happened early on.
The relationship with the mom and how she's very fragile and it ends up he's sort of taking care of her and doesn't have a father. It's a really well-written story, in my opinion, just from the character dynamics of like, you've got this kid that shows this grown-up kid how to be an adult, which is Hugh Grant's character. Is this like, and he's got Peter Pan syndrome. By the way, I would, in a heartbeat, live where he lives in that flat.
Yeah,
that thing is amazing.
Is crazy.
Amazing.
I mean, I don't know how much royalties from Santa's something sleigh.
So
what is it? Silly sleigh? Santa's
his dad's
sleigh.
song. Yeah.
Yes.
It's so sad and so true. But yeah, it's a good movie. It's definitely one to check out for the Christmas season. It is a little on the
It's not really
deeper
Christmas
side.
though. Like there's 2 scenes of Christmas, and I guess because his dad wrote a Christmas Carol that was really famous.
Yeah, and that's kind of the point.
That's the through point of why it's a Christmas movie. That's why I watched it, because it's in this book, guys. And so I was like, I didn't really know that one, maybe. Okay. Yeah.
Let's see,
I'm glad I saw it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Someone in the chat was saying, Nick, the movie's already out, which I assume they're referring to The Other Side of the Wind. So cool. I'll watch it. Is it already on Netflix?
Maybe.
How did I not see that? I should have just watched the movie.
All of the Hugh Grant movies a little bit blend together for me. Like,
They're all he has a
music
very
and
similar
lyrics
character.
Oh, it is
and
out
About
already.
a Boy and Love Actually. I'm like, I don't really
Cool.
like. There's certain
Queued
scenes
up.
I'm like, I couldn't tell you, or sorry, not Love Actually, Notting Hill, where it's like I don't really exactly remember which one goes in which movie.
Notting Hill
It's great.
is
It's
great.
amazing.
It is one of
Your
my.
brother loves it too. You guys watch that together?
No, we just went through a moment together probably with it, but like my wife's like, why do you like this movie as much as you do? And I'm like, it's just a
the
great
best.
movie. It's total fantasy fulfillment for me. Just having someone come take care of me. It's great. That's what I want.
Here's your trivia question. What's the name of the publication that he says he's from?
Horse and Hound.
Thank you. I love that.
that was a
I
good
love
one.
that.
Yeah. Because he goes with this,
The readers of Horse and
Horse and
Hound.
Hounds. It's so
I'd
good.
like to know.
And
So
the roommate
good.
is so good in that.
What's that?
The roommate.
Oh, the guy that played
He is
Spike
great.
oh yeah, he's Spike. Spike's the name of the character.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. He's in The Replacements as well.
So
he played a
good.
football kicker.
Yes.
That guy's good. I like the Friends, all that stuff. It's
The
so good.
dinner?
The scene where she comes to the dinner and they're like, everyone realizes who she is
It's
except for
Hannah
the one
Scott.
guy who's like, hey, how are you doing? What's
Yeah.
going on? And like they just let him go on for a while. Where he's like, what do you do? And she's like, I'm an actor. He's like, oh, that's awesome. I did some acting too back in the day. Like this is, and
Have
they
you
just let
ever-
him dig
okay,
the hole
wait.
deeper.
Have you ever met like an actor in real life that's been on like TV and stuff and asked them what they do?
Yeah.
What's the response? Like someone that you've never met
It,
before.
it depends because I actually met a guy in Austin, Texas when I went to Out of Bounds Festival who was part of an improv comedy troupe. And I looked at him and there was a recollection of I've seen, like maybe I've
Like,
seen
I
this
know
movie,
you.
but I didn't want to like,
You don't want to do that game.
I just didn't
Yeah.
think. And I was like, hey, what's going on? And I just assumed he was a comic. And then finally after like an hour later, after embarrassing myself of like just talking normally, I was like, oh wait, dude, you've been in a ton of shit. Like it clicked that I saw him in something and I'm like, oh my God, no, this guy's been in a ton of shit. Like
Yeah.
I can't remember what he was in now, but yeah, I've done that before. I've done that plenty of times before.
I had so we had a neighbor. We were all at the park because we just have the little neighborhood park, and you know, I've seen him and his sons a few times, and I was just talking with him. I was like, oh, so what do you do around here? Like you would ask someone,
Yeah.
what do you do? Oh, you know, I just work in a lot of different places. I was like, oh, okay, you know, like
Yeah.
no big deal. And then later I was like, it's the guy from Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
Which one?
I finally figured it out. They're like boyfriend. You'll have to look up his name.
But that's
Finally, I'm like-
understandable.
Yeah.
It would be different if you were like, if you met someone and you were like, oh, what do you do? And he's like, I'm an actor. Oh, anything
Oh, yeah,
I've been in?
that's
And he's
true.
like, yeah, Fight Club. I'm Brad Pitt. Like that would be a little bit different if you
That's
didn't
true.
recognize like Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, I've never done that. Like I don't think either of us are going to fall into those trappings
That's
because
true.
clearly we're champions on Schmodown Movie Trivia,
That's right.
which is great.
We can recognize.
I mean, I'm the
Game recognizes game.
There
What
it
is
is.
it?
Game
Player
recognizes
recognizes
game.
Player.
Game
What is it?
recognizes game. I love that. Okay. Before we get into the
What's
quiz,
his name?
ladies and
I don't
gentlemen,
know which one it is because there's.
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
But is it the Greek one? The Greek boyfriend?
He was also on Greek, the show Greek.
Oh,
What?
I'm working on it.
This seems.
Oh, good. Kevin's
Kevin's
got
going to
it.
Google
Kevin's got
Sisterhood
it.
of the Traveling Pants for us right now, so we're going to figure. This was the one with Blake Lively, right?
Yeah, and they're also
Where all of a
friends,
sudden
which
all
I
these
love.
people fit into these pants. Let's see. Bradley Whitford?
No.
I don't know. Mike Vogel?
He was also
Michael Ratty.
Yes,
Kostas.
Rady. That's him.
Let me see this guy.
Oh yeah, he's the Greek boyfriend.
He's not bad looking.
He's very attractive.
He's.
Yep, that's my neighbor.
That's your neighbor. But that's not. But like this guy, I would know this guy. Like I would, if I saw that guy in LA, I'd be like, oh yeah, you're clearly
Oh,
trying to
wait.
be an actor. But like I've gone to parties in LA with my friends who
Yeah.
have friends that show up, and I'm like I went to a friend's party one time, and is that
Love
him?
that we're going through all his photos.
That's crazy. No, I went to a friend's party, and there was a bunch of actors there who have done a ton of TV, but I hadn't seen that stuff before.
Yeah, so you're
but it
like,
was also like I was at the party, and like Elle Fanning showed up, and I was like,
Sweet.
oh, I know who you are, because you're in every fucking movie right now.
What
right.
are you going to?
Yeah,
I
what is
go
this?
to fun parties, man. I go to cool parties. And my friends in LA. Well, like, the thing is, if you grew up in LA, you know people. You just do. Or if you've worked in the industry, like I have
True.
friends that are choreographers and like
Yeah.
do stuff on that level and just know
Right.
people.
That's how you
I
got
don't
all
know
those
anyone.
girls to come dance and as part of your intro for the Schmodown that one time.
That is true, and
Yes.
that's how it works. I just call up my
was
friends and
great.
I say, "Bring me everyone," And it's just like that scene in The Professional where they go, everyone, and I scream into the phone. Everyone. Great.
It's a great scene.
Great fucking scene. Excellent
Gary
scene.
Oldman at his best.
Before we get into the ultimate Christmas movie quiz, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to take a break to tell you about our sponsors, the first of which is Loot Gaming. Loot Gaming is a monthly subscription box delivered directly to your door with exclusive pop culture collectibles, apparel, and gear. Loot Gaming curates and designs everything themselves, which means you can't find these items anywhere else. No matter what you geek out about, this is for you. We got these cool Foxhound Metal Gear inspired pint glasses with the last Loot Gaming crate, and we're loving them very, very much. There's a bunch of them that we got, and now we have a full set. Also, Cool Greg gave me this pin to show to you guys, which is Courage the Cowardly Dog that he loves so much. And he got this.
He was really stoked on it.
He was really stoked on it, and then when I
cute.
asked him, I was like, oh, can I show the audience? Because like, so we can tell them that you got something cool that you like, and he was like, okay. And he put the pin on here like reluctantly, like, please take care of the pin. Don't hurt the
like
pin.
that
So we got to
pin.
get that pin back to him at the end of the week. Of course, Loot Crate has over 30 million crates sold. Loot Gaming is a curated collection of exclusive one-of-a-kind items from the best video game franchises. This November, Crate has 4 incredible franchises, including God of War, which we love, Elder Scrolls, which we love, Kingdom Hearts, which
Kratos.
Tim loves, and Assassin's Creed, which Kevin and Greg will not stop talking about. They love it very, very much. Of course, there's a guaranteed t-shirt in every crate. Who doesn't love t-shirts? Subscribe now and give yourself a birthday present every month. I love that. I love that saying. This crate will sell out. You must order by this week to guarantee yours, as this will sell out. Get the best surprises each month from the largest geek and gaming subscription company, Geek Out in Style with Loot Crate. Subscribers are also automatically entered to win each month's Epic Drop, a special prize that looters can win just by being a looter. This month's Epic Drop includes a PlayStation 4 Pro and God of War bundle. That's a good drop. Subscribe now by going to lootcrate.com/KFMS and enter my code KFMS to save an exclusive 30% off your subscription. Subscribe now by going to lootcrate.com/KFMS and enter the code KFMS to save a exclusive 30% off your subscription. Ladies and gentlemen, our next sponsor is Slack. You've heard us talk about Slack a lot. We use Slack in this office all the time. I Slacked Joey yesterday, and she Slacked me back. Pretty much, the only way I can get a hold of Joey and Andy is if I Slack them. You refuse to answer your phone.
That's not true.
And I email you sometimes, and you're like, it's Slack or nothing.
It's
That's
true.
what Joey tells me.
It's the quickest way to get back and forth to people.
It is, and that's because Slack, thanks to Slack for supporting the Kind of Funny Morning Show, because Slack is a collaboration hub for work. No matter what work you do, teamwork on Slack happens in channels where your information and conversations are organized around projects, offices, and teams. And because everything you need to work is in one place, it's faster and easier to get things done. With channels, team members don't get left out and information doesn't get lost. Everything people need to get their work done is in the same easily searchable place. There's a perfect example. I was going to bother everyone to try to find the Extra Life schedule, and then I remembered, I think Greg just put it in the general Slack, and I searched in there, boom, it was right there. And then I just asked you guys anyway, because I like bugging you,
Yes,
and I like keeping you on your toes.
You're resourceful.
Designed to support the way people like you naturally work together, Slack makes collaboration with your colleagues online as easy and as effective and efficient as face-to-face. The more Slack is used across the company, the more value it provides as tools and information shared by one department becomes accessible across other departments, helping teams work together across locations, time zones, or job titles. With Slack, the right people in your team are kept in the loop, and the information they need is always at their fingertips. Learn more at Slack.com. That's Slack.com. Slack, where work happens. Obviously, can't speak highly enough about Slack. It works on mobile apps, works across all sorts of platforms. It's fantastic, very easy, and very convenient. All right, Joe, before we get into the quiz.
There are 4 different ways that you can win the giveaway.
Thank you, my brain just went blank there.
Every morning. The first way is you can be watching live, just like Juan Malvez.
Juan
In the chat.
Malvez.
Damn, good for you, Juan.
He didn't win anything, he's just watching live.
Correct. He's just watching.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
sorry,
hey,
Juan.
hey, Juan.
You thought you were the winner, but you're the winner today because Joey said your name, and so did Brianne, and so did I.
So it's
What up,
almost
Juan?
like you won.
How you
And
living on a Thursday, doggy dog?
The second way that you can win is by being a subscriber to this channel. If you can't be here every day, you could just subscribe. If you have Twitch Prime, you could link, or if you have Amazon Prime, you can link your Amazon account with your Twitch account.
I got to
Twitch
do
Prime,
that at some point.
Give away a thing. It's great. And then the other 2 ways are subscribing at the $2 or above levels at patreon.com/kindoffunny or patreon.com/kindoffunnygames. Just like our winner today from Kind of Funny Games. Wasn't that a great transition? Thank you.
That was a great transition.
Jeremy Bourdreau has a lot of unnecessary vowels in his name. Who won Shadow of the Tomb Raider for PS4. Yay!
Yay! Now, Joey, I need your brain real quick.
Okay.
Who did I subscribe to last month? Was it Snowbike Mike?
No, I feel like
Sancho
the
West
last
was
one
the
you
month
did was
prior.
Fiona.
Was it Fiona? Okay.
Ceramics.
So congratulations to the one and only Snowbike Mike. You've just gotten my free subscription right there. That's as easy as it is, ladies and gentlemen. Amazon Prime delivers stuff to your house. Twitch Prime delivers money directly into my pocket. It's easy. It's free. We love it. Jeff Bezos out there making buildings, running the world, being a supervillain. Take a little bit away. This is how we fight him.
We don't know that he's being a super.
This is how we fight him.
In fact,
He and
Allegedly.
Elon Musk,
Allegedly.
Illuminati. Okay? You want to fight the Illuminati? Take $5 for free, give it to us. If not, give it to someone out there that's streaming that you love, like Snowbike Mike. He's a badass. If you're not familiar with him, check him out. We love him very much. All right. It's quiz time.
Should we see if we have any tip quiz questions?
Oh yes, we will. We're going to do that after the quiz. That's a great
Okay.
question, though. We're going to do that after my quiz.
Tiebreaker additional.
What's that?
Those will be the tiebreaker bonus round. Quiz.
Yes,
I'm
that'll be the
worried.
tiebreaker. So
Please keep score.
we have 5. Don't look at the answers.
no.
We have 5 Christmas movie themed questions to ask you right now to prepare you for your Christmas movie themed schmodown
Can I use my
tomorrow.
book?
No, you cannot use your book.
Oh.
I'm gonna take this book away. We're gonna take this book away.
Okay.
This book looks like you've been studying it for the last 18 years, like you're Mel Gibson from Conspiracy Theory. Okay. Now here we
movie
go.
is
I
not
want you to clear your brain. Ladies and gentlemen, if you
clear.
know the answer to these are hard questions. If you know the answer, do not put them in the chat. Do not say anything. Everyone in the studio,
Joey, you can tell
do
me.
not shout it out. Question number 1 is going to be a hard one. They get progressively harder.
I'm going to learn a lot.
Which 1988 Christmas classic features a group of German terrorists taking
Yes.
over a corporate Christmas party?
I know this one.
What's the answer?
Is it Die Hard?
It is Die Hard.
Okay, thank God.
It is Die
Thank
Hard.
God.
Okay. Question number 2.
Is it Die Hard?
No. Question number 2. In the classic 1988 film Die Hard,
Yes.
who played villain Hans Gruber?
Alan Rickman.
Alan Rickman is correct.
Nailed it.
Alan Rickman is correct. Question number 3. Die Hard took place in the
Yes.
fictional Nakatomi Plaza.
Yes.
What is the name of the real life building?
Oh.
Why should I know that? The real life?
The real life building.
It's the Fox building.
It is the Fox building.
In Century City.
It's actually called Fox
Bum,
Plaza.
bum. Yeah, I was
That's why
gonna
they
say
call it Nakatomi
Plaza.
Plaza. That's what it is. Okay. Next question. Second to last question. You're doing great. I want you to know you know a lot more about Die Hard. This one's going to be a
Okay,
hard
good.
one, though.
Oh, no.
This actor is best known for his role as Lieutenant Al Powell. Al Powell in the classic 1988 film Die Hard.
What?
He was also in Family Matters.
Yeah, I know. Reginald Val Johnson.
That is correct. That is correct.
I'm like, what?
All right. Last question.
Okay.
And then we go into
God.
the user questions from the tips.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm worried.
Which movie is better?
Oh, no.
Die Hard or Lethal Weapon?
Wait a minute.
That is a totally neither. And I'm going to tell you one thing right now. Both answers are correct. Just want you to know.
Okay.
Both answers are correct.
Go with your gut.
I'm going to go with Die Hard.
Die Hard is correct. Die Hard is correct.
Yes!
There it is. There it is. Great Christmas movie. See, you nailed it.
I know,
You nailed it.
but I got
You don't
to
need the
study
book.
other ones, too.
You don't need this book. If they just look at this. Look at this. On the cover of the book,
What is
written by
Colleen's-
Alfonso Duralde, is Die Hard. It's John McClane hanging off. Let me see.
Fire
my hand?
hose.
Hanging off the fire hose off of Nakatomi Plaza. Nailed it.
God, I love Christmas.
All right. I love Christmas too.
Too
Second,
early to start watching Christmas movies?
no.
Oh, you
Ask
start
Starbucks
now.
that. Literally the day after Halloween ends, Starbucks has all the Christmas shit out. And I love it.
One of our local stations starts playing Christmas music right after Veterans Day.
That's perfect. My sister-in-law will start playing Christmas music like right around
July.
October.
Okay.
Yeah, like right around. Like she's not big into Halloween, but like every time, like we're going up to visit her in Tahoe, and I guarantee it's going to be all Christmas music all day long. And I love it.
I'm about it.
Love it. All right, going into the chat, or
Okay,
excuse me,
let's
going into
see.
the tips. Let's see if people queued up questions. Andy
hope
Prince gave
so.
us $5. Said, "Hey, Miss Movie, awesome to see you on KF again. Are you familiar with the 1984 movie Streets of Fire? Love what you do. Keep killing it, guys." I'm not familiar with that. Are you?
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
No, I had never heard of it. Arvel Cry Knight says, "Question: What is the first big-budget live-action superhero comic book movie that takes place around Christmas?"
Oh, Batman Returns.
Ooh, that sounds right.
Now he didn't put the answer in there, so we don't
is
know.
that it?
Yeah, I forgot to mention y'all gotta put the y'all gotta put the answer in there. But Batman Returns, it sounds right.
Arvel will be in chat for sure.
Arvel's definitely in chat. Let's see.
I'm checking.
You check, Joe.
Correct.
Correct.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ways in
There you go.
chat.
DJ Kento says, shout out to Need for Speed. Not a great movie, but a fun movie. Rami Malek is having a blast in every scene. Michael Keaton is just chewing through the scenery as the eye in the sky, and Dominic Cooper is a legit great villain. Need for Speed is greater than Fast 8. Oh, sir.
Whoa.
You just lost me. DJ Kento also gave us a tip and said, I met Uwe Boll at Fantastic Fest, and fully knowing who he is and what he does, and after I just sat through his movie in Q&A, it was Rampage, it's awful. I met him at a highball lounge and asked him who he was and what he does, and he was so angry.
You did that on purpose.
You did that on purpose. All right, that's it for tips, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna go into the Twitch chat right now and talk to you guys a little bit, and then we're gonna skedaddle, because we got other stuff to do today.
Ask me Christmas questions, not about Die Hard.
Yeah, you can keep asking your Christmas questions if you guys want. We'll pull from there, and then we'll go into sub-lane mode a little bit, and then we'll grab some lunch. Does that sound a little touch of lunch?
Let's grab some lunch.
What are we munching on?
Brianne and I went to that new coffee shop breakfast place down the
Pretty
street.
dope, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you went to the one down there.
Lucho.
Yeah, okay.
Wait, was I
Yeah.
not supposed to say it?
No,
You can say it.
No, people
I
know
couldn't
where it
remember
is.
what the name was. That's why I
They put a
didn't say
freaking
it.
sign up on the window.
Pretty
People
good.
are fine. CJ Rock 32 says Nick Overlord was a fun action movie. They felt like a video game at certain points. It's getting good. I think it's got a good score on Rotten Tomatoes. It's at 86%.
Is it part of the Paradox
No.
universe?
No,
They
there was a
say
video.
no, but who knows?
There was a video that IGN had on their channel. It was an interview with the Danish actor who played the sidekick in Ghost in the Shell, and he plays one of the Greyjoys
cool.
in Game of Thrones.
Oh, yeah.
The guy that's like the bad guy.
Euron.
Right.
Euron. And they were like, we feel like he's the one that accidentally let this out of the cat out of the bag on this, because someone asked him, hey, is this a part, when he just signed on, they're like, is this a part of the Cloverfield universe? And he's like, I had never seen any Cloverfield films, was not familiar, but I knew they were Bad Robot. And so he said, yeah, it could be. And I guess everyone took that and ran with it. But also, to be fair, they just haphazardly shoehorn movies into the Cloverfield universe.
Why not? Yeah. I mean,
Because the last one they did was not.
which one?
I liked
Are
Paradox.
you talking about
Paradox.
Paradox?
Yeah.
I didn't see Paradox.
I think it suffered from being
Cloverfield
shoehorned
Lane was
into
great.
Cloverfield. Cloverfield Lane was good.
I
that
liked
was
what
cool.
it did for the universe building, but I didn't necessarily like it as a standalone.
Mystery Yasmin 300 asks, has Brianne
so
seen A
Paradox.
Star Is Born?
I have seen A Star
What'd
Is
you think?
Born. I'm not as hot on it as a lot of people are.
Interesting.
I love the soundtrack, I love the songs, but the story.
It's at a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I understand, but I feel like it's someone that's never dealt with depression that like is showing the eyes of what depression is, and it frustrates me. So.
Can you try to convince Joey to go see it?
I'm not seeing it.
Joey doesn't want to see it. She's anti that.
It's
She said,
long.
here's the thing. Joey said, I walked in and I said, Joe, have you seen it? She goes, I don't want to see this movie.
I also saw the Barbara Streisand one.
That's a hard
I
one
like
to
That
get
one's
through.
not good.
No,
I
it's
like
hard
it.
to get through.
I have not
Chris
seen the Judy
Christopherson.
Garland.
There is a point where Chris Christopherson just rides around on a motorcycle and then rolls around in the mud for like 15 minutes. I was like, what the fuck is going on in this movie? What is happening?
But the thing that sucked though is I rented that film and then it like came available on Netflix like 2 weeks later, and I was like, why did I pay to watch this when it became available?
I watched it on Netflix and I liked the beginning of it. I think it's really cool, but it's a bit dated at this point.
It is.
But I like Barbara Streisand, and I think Lady Gaga did a good job of being that sort of like off the wallish, not what you'd expect from a superstar character. And I like that they talked about that. I like that she was able to infuse a little bit of what she had gone through as like on her rise to fame with body
But
image,
don't
body
you
image
feel like it
problems
was
and all that
too
stuff.
much her? Like I felt like it really made it easy. The story really made it easy because they just kind of turned her into who she is.
Yeah, I think it was a little. I don't want to say autobiographical, but there were definitely a lot of her in it. The big fault with the story is I think they set up some stuff that they just don't. Like the biggest problem I have is that they set up that she has gone away from herself. She's not being true to her artistic form anymore, and they don't really come back to it. We kind of see it at the end there a little bit, but
I mean, there's
I kind of
hints of
forgave
that
that
at the beginning where she's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, I paint my hair. and
Yeah, I do
these
all
aren't
this
my
stuff.
real
Yeah.
eyebrows." Like, okay, so she does kind of like have that need for an aesthetic.
I think by the end of
But-
it, we're supposed to have discovered that because of the trauma of this relationship that she's gone through, that she found herself again. And we see her sing on stage, and it's not in the makeup, it's not in the pop stuff. But I just feel like they didn't deliver too much on that. Having said
Yeah.
that, watching her sing those songs live was fucking awesome.
My body
Well
was
worth
like
the-
convulsing.
well worth
during like
the price of
Shallow,
admission.
and I'm like, oh my god, why?
Get Bucket says, Nick, Altered Carbon anime is on the way.
Oh, cool.
Is it?
Yeah, dude, I liked Altered Carbon. I can like stuff.
I didn't like Altered Carbon. Couldn't get through it.
A lot of nudity in it.
Let's see. Oh, Juicy_2K asked the question, Miss Movie, who played the villain in the 1985 Santa Claus, the movie?
Oh, I didn't see
I have
that
no
one.
idea.
Was
I
it
didn't know
Dudley
that's a real
Moore?
movie.
I have
Dudley
no
Moore,
idea.
just that's good.
Tell me who it is. The villain in Santa
Matt
Claus
Rohrbeck
movie.
asks, Brianne, are you planning to go to any film festivals next year? TIFF is always my favorite time of the year. Have you been to film festivals?
I've never been to a film festival. I've always wanted to go to Sundance. That's like on my bucket list of places to go. Telluride would probably be another one.
Telluride would be amazing. TIFF would be awesome.
It just looks awesome. TIFF does look pretty good. I know there's a lot of standing in line. Lines aren't my favorite. That's hard for me.
It's weird because, and Kevin will attest to this, I love standing in lines. I like to be in my proper place in line. I like to get there.
So you like to do Hall H, like I'm gonna camp out.
Hall
tent.
H is ridiculous. But what I like to
Hall
do
H.
is I like to get to the airport super early.
Okay, well,
so that I can
that's
stand in the
different.
security line and be like, I'm not stressed by this at all.
But
I do that too, but that's a different line. That's
then,
a moving line.
Then it's like, all right, well, we have the camera bag, and we need to get on this plane
Mm-hmm.
so that we could put stuff up, because they're already being like, hey, warning, you're not going to be able to put stuff up. And he, every fucking time, snitches me out to the plane person. Like,
No, I don't do it anymore because I just don't go with you. I just let you do your thing. I learned a long time ago
That's not true. You always get suckered into going with
Sometimes
me.
I go. Sometimes if he's ahead of me, I'll go. He's lying. I'll point it at him,
He'll
and then he
say
looks
that.
back and because I can't break rules. I'm not a rule breaker.
But he's
Yeah,
also
I
a
understand.
snitch. So
I
don't
understand.
forget
I'm a little bit of a
I'm
snitch, yeah. Like if I get shanked
I'm not
one
a
day in this
snitcher,
office,
but-
I'll know why. I'll know exactly why.
You're the elf on the shelf.
Oh my God! I'm just snitches get stitches.
elf on the
The answer was John Lithgow. He was the
John
bad guy
Lithgow
in the Santa Claus.
the movie.
Don't remember that.
I did see Santa Claus the movie, but it was when I was a kid, so I don't remember it.
All
So
right.
John Lithgow.
John Lithgow is the answer to that.
That's
We are
in
in
this book.
sub-only mode right now. DH Canada asks the important question: has Brianne ever weighed in on the old debate of Clerks versus Lord of the Rings? Which one is a better movie franchise? Clerks.
Which one do you want to... If you're like, hey, we're going to watch one of these two movies, which one do you want to watch right now?
Either of the two
This
1.5
is
hour long Clerks movies,
This is a.
or the 17-hour long saga that is
I'll
Lord of the
go
Rings.
Clerks.
Yeah,
That's right.
that is the correct answer.
I just value my
That is the
time
correct
too
answer.
much.
That's fair. That's
Sorry.
fair. Brianne.
And I have kids, so
Yeah.
time is much more
Oh, so they
valuable.
can enjoy it.
Yeah, they could also enjoy all the fun jokes and Clerks. I'm sure that's perfect for your children who are young and impressionable. Brianne, thanks so much for joining us on the show today.
Thanks for having me. I
appreciate
wish we could
you.
do this for 5 hours,
I know.
just like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, add a 1 to the beginning of that, and you'll get all the Lord of the Rings franchise. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us out there. If you guys have ultimate movie quiz questions for Christmas movies, please throw them in the chat. I'll try to answer them without
Send them
Googling
to me.
it. That's what I'll do. Or tweet at Miss Movies and send her those questions so she can brush up for her showdown tomorrow on the Schmoes with the Schmoes. When does that go live? Do you know?
That's going to go up in December for on our
For Patreon
Patreon.
supporters?
Yep.
Fantastic.
Patreon.com/Schmodown.
Go.
But that's only $10 and up, and then it releases to everyone in January.
Fantastic.
That's how that works.
As they say, if you guys want to catch the best match ever, the best Patreon match ever, you can see me and Greg versus those fakes from Funhouse, Elise and James. Spoilers. Dominated them. Ladies,
Don't spoil it.
spoilers.
Too late.
It's too bad. I can't break rules, Kevin. And the rule of the game is
That's the
you
rule.
tell people that you
can't
won.
lie.
When you win, you can't
Plus,
lie.
you played against Josh. People can find that.
I did play against Josh, and boy, that was so fun. And I feel like I gave Christian a heart attack. I feel like when me and Josh are in the room together, Christian starts white knuckling the desk, just shut up and answer the question. Like at one point, Josh and I both helped each other spin, and we were just very encouraging. And it was super fun.
It was
And I
fun.
miss him, and I want him to come back up here. And I'm glad you're up here too. I want everyone to just come up here. Just come up here. Live up here. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Kind of Funny Morning Show. I will not be back tomorrow. I'm taking the day off. I believe Andy and Greg, or Andy and Tim, or Tim and Greg. Some combination of Greg, Tim, Andy, Joey, or Kevin will be helping to host the morning show tomorrow. We'll figure that out later. That reminds me, Joey, we got to figure out who's hosting the morning show tomorrow.
It's on my list.
Fantastic.
Greg/Joey.
Andy Greg/Joey is what's on there. We'll figure it out. Everyone, I love you very much. Enjoy your weekend. I'm going to enjoy my weekend and try to get as much sleep as humanly possible. Remember, comments in the comments below. Questions for me, best Christmas movie questions. Tweet at Miss Movies. Follow her. It's fantastic. And have a lovely, lovely Thursday.